Atheists get accused of hating Christians, but do they really? We're about to discuss. What's up, my non-believers, skeptics, and doubters, and anyone else who might be listening? This is Kevin. Welcome back to this Unfollower, the podcast. How have you been spending your quarantine? For me, I've just been hanging out inside, watching a lot of Gary Vee videos, thinking, reading, just consuming content. Started watching Community. So it's not all been trying to get things done and accomplished. I guess you got to have some downtime too. So just been kind of watching a little bit of TV, not reading as much as I want to, but I think it's important that we don't beat ourselves up too much during this time. It's good to have goals and try to get things accomplished, but that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to knock out 1,000 things. One thing that I definitely need to do though is start working on getting ready to move, because my house sale, I'm just waiting on a closing date. So it's about a month away. I need to start getting rid of some shit and getting ready to move. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, a little bit excited about, is not the moving process necessarily, but actually moving out of this house, moving out of this town. If you're on YouTube, let me know in the comments. If you're listening on the podcast, hit me up on Instagram, let me know. And if you're on YouTube, sorry about the video quality. It's not great. I'm trying to get a webcam right now, but as you know, 99% of people seem to be working from home. So when you go to try to buy a webcam on Amazon, they're sold out. Walmart, they're sold out. eBay, they're $1 billion because I guess everybody bought a crap load of them and is trying to resell them now. So you can't find them anywhere. You can't find them from the manufacturer's websites or anywhere. And if you can find any, they're crappier than the one that I have right here on my MacBook. So I'm working on that better setup. I'm going to try to get it soon to where the video quality is a little bit better. But if you have a problem with it, just deal with it. Before I start this episode, I'm going to read a podcast review. And it comes from Shyla17. It says, "Never related to something more in my life. I was lost and confused pretty much all my life. This podcast makes me feel like views are valid. Thank you for this life-saving podcast." That's why I do this. It's not because I hate Christians. It's not about, trying to deconvert people necessarily. It's just I'm trying to put content out there in hopes that somebody will relate to it. It helps them to feel not alone, that they have others that are similar to them. That's why I do this. That's a pretty good segue into what this episode is all about, which is, do atheists hate Christians? There are definitely some that do, so I can't speak and say, no, we don't hate Christians, but I think the majority of us do not. Some do, and it's that people who have been burned by religion seem to definitely go through an angry phase once they get out of it, where they just want to say fuck Christianity or fuck whatever religion they came from. I think we all go through that phase. Some people seem to stay in that phase. But I'd say I don't hate Christians. So don't get me wrong. My good friend DJ Grumpy Cat said something to me. I actually made an Instagram post about it, but she said there's a difference between criticizing a religion and criticizing a person. And I think that's very accurate, and that definitely conveys how I feel, because you have to be able to separate the religion from the person. There are so many different denominations within Christianity, at least. You can't really just condemn a person based on what their religion is, because there are so many differing thoughts and opinions and beliefs within the same religion. So you have to be able to separate that. because a person labels themselves a Christian, that doesn't mean that they're like every other Christian. There are so many different kinds. There are really radical ones, more moderate ones, more understanding ones, those who try to convert you, those who don't, those who are more about keeping the peace, those who are that think it's their mission in life to go try to convert everyone else, and plenty that think that their mission is to hop into my comments and tell me that I'm going to burn to a crisp. There are some of those too. I don't make these videos, podcasts, and the posts that I make because I hate Christians. I do it because there are people out there who need it. There are people who are stuck in a house living with family who treats them like shit. Especially now while we're all being quarantined. Some people can't get away from the way they're treated. Their only escape might be through things that they watch or things that they listen to. It might be through their earbuds, you know? So that's why I do it. Because I know how I used to be. I know that there are people who really need community and need to be able to find other people who are like them. We don't hate Christians. We hate that we devoted our lives to something only to realize later that it's not true. We hate it because it's shoved down our throats. We hate it because others tell us how we need to live. They tell us what to do, and instead of just living their lives and letting us live ours. It's okay to hate the religion and not hate the people. I know a lot of those people still. They're not bad people. I just think that they might be a little bit misled. I don't hate them. A guy on Instagram cussed me out because I told him to fuck off. Yeah, maybe I started it, but I post something. I don't put any Christian hashtags on it. And he comes onto my page and tells me all the wrong things that I'm doing and how I shouldn't be leading people astray and that I'm going to be responsible for the souls that I lead to hell. So I told him to fuck off. And then he irrationally just sends me about 47 different comments, just telling me fuck this and that, and I set him off just because I said the one thing. Sorry, but I'm actually not at all. If you come onto my page and try to convert me and tell me that how I'm living is wrong, then fuck off. Not sorry about that. I think there's a world where Christians and atheists can get along. And that's a world where we're not telling each other how to live. We're not telling each other that they're wrong. We're not trying to suppress the rights of the other groups. I know Christians think that atheists are trying to take away their rights, take God out of school, and all that stuff. But really, you can pray whenever you want. You can pray in school. It's just that we don't want it to be mandatory for everybody there to have to pray. That's the difference. If you want to pray, fine. What if we were to go up there and say that we want to lead everybody in a prayer to Satan? They probably wouldn't allow that. That's the same thing. That's what we're talking about. It's just not, we just don't want it to be mandatory. Nobody's trying to take God out of school. Stop it. Today's shitty Bible verse comes from Numbers chapter 31, verse 17 and 18. Now kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. How about that? If Christians can cherry pick their favorite verses, then we can cherry pick ours too. You see, they like to weave this little path where they only cut certain verses out and they paste them and they make pretty little graphics to go with them. But then they leave out verses like this. They'll say like that I'm taking it out of context because I'm going with some Old Testament laws. But they'll take stuff from the very same book in the Bible, the ones that sound good, and then, make those, post those on their Facebook or their Instagram. It goes both ways. I can do the same thing. And that's why I do it. Thanks for tuning in. If you are not already subscribed to the podcast, please do. If you don't mind rating and reviewing, that would be awesome. Help me get a little more visibility. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe on this video. That would be sick. And Follow me at Jesus Unfollower everywhere. I'm on every fucking platform these days. I'm even on TikTok, baby, because I'm apparently a 14-year-old girl. So until next time, let logic and reason guide the way. Peace.